Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. This is All's Well Lifestyle, where we feel good and we are empowered every single week. My name is T. Marie. I help people be their highest self. What? As a life coach and an author and a motivational speaker, and I just love these gatherings every week because we get together. Today, we're going to jump right into it. We're talking about finding your tribe. Find your tribe. Now, for those of you that don't get down with the lingo, what we're talking about here is having friends. Having friends. We're going to dive into it, friends, because you might be thinking, I have friends. I have friends, T. I have friends, T. Marie. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Let me tell you something. Many of us adults do not have friends. I'm going to say it again. Many of us adults do not have friends. Okay? We get wrapped up in our lives. We get wrapped up in our children. We are overworked. So we're focused on climbing the ladder, staying on the rung we're on, achieving the next thing. And so we just don't have friends. And I'll tell you right now, join me in the chat and let me know if you can identify with this. If when I talked about finding your tribe or having friends, did you immediately feel like I have friends, but then if you think about those friends, they're old friends? Like, are they actual friends that you're talking to right now? Yes or no? Because we get into that too, right? So we'll think, oh, I have friends. But when you really think about that friend, it's an old school friend that you might not have talked to in years. It's memories of friendships that you may have had, or memories of coworkers that you may have had, and it felt good at the time, but it is not in action now. So today we're talking about finding your tribe, and I'll dive into why first, because we always want to know, like, why, right? So why do we want to find our tribe? In the blue zones, so there are designated areas on the earth that are considered blue zones. And they're considered blue zones because it just so happens that people in these blue zone areas tend to live much longer than most, like into their hundreds. And what they have found in all of these places is that community and friendship is a big component of that. So why do we want to find our tribe? Why do we want to have friends, like active friendships? Not one of the big reasons is because it's healthy. It is healthy for us to do. It is healthy from an emotional and a mental level. We also want to find our tribe, and we want to have active friends because this helps us go further emotionally, mentally, physically, when we're talking about goals, when we're talking about stress relief or having companionship and support for those areas in our life, like raising our children, like problems or situations in our marriage, like different milestones that we come upon just as we're being an adult, different ages that we enter into or seasons in our life. So having active friendships is extremely important and it's wonderful and there's lots of benefits. So the why is it's healthy. The why is it's fulfilling. The why is that there are many things we gain: emotional, mental, physical. And then there's the why in the helping us to achieve things, to process things, to have support for things. Sometimes that support is going to be an answer, a resource, a referral. Okay. So for those of you that are business minded, right, that might mean that next networking step that you need help on. But then sometimes it really is an ear, a person that will listen and that will truly get to know you from an intimate space and be able to give you the space you need to vent where you might not have anywhere else to do so. So today we're talking about friends. We're talking about finding our tribe. And we're diving into it. So definitely join me in the chat and let me know how you feel about this. Where are you at in this process? I got a little active there in the chat. Forgive me for that little mix up. Today, we're talking about finding your tribe. We're talking about friendships as an adult. I started off with talking about why this is necessary and why we want to explore this further. And now I'm going to move into a very additional, okay? We're going to come at this from multiple angles here. And so we're going to go into a little bit more as to who is a good tribe member? Who, right? Because like I said in the opening, what ends up happening here is that you may think, I have friends. I already have friends, right? Because of course you know people. Of course you've had friends over your life. I'm sure you can go to your social media and you'll see people you're connected with, right? And so those are the first people that come to mind. But the thing is that friendship, really a tribe, when you think about even that, a tribe, what does that mean? That's people, a collective of people that are moving toward a particular thing. It's engaging, right? It's engaging, it's real, it's connected, it's involved. So we're talking about it from this angle. We're talking about, who is a good tribe member? Because our first inclination is, I have friends, I have people. But when we look deeper, are they active? Are they engaged? Do they know you right now? Who you are? What you stand for? What you believe in? Your goals, your dreams, your desires? What you need? Maybe you have friends from back in the day when you used to have a lot of fun as a college student or early in your 20s, but now you're not going out like you used to. Now you care about your marriage, your friends, or getting your newest degree or starting a business. And so we have to be discerning about who a good tribe member is. Something that's come to my awareness recently is that a lot of times we are in deep despair, angst, or confusion about ourselves just because we're in the wrong circle. Okay. Woohoo! We're getting breakthroughs today, friends. Breakthroughs. This is what I mean. I recently watched an amazing show. It's on Industrial Light and Music. It's on, forgive me, that's the wrong name. Industrial Light and Magic. It's about George Lucas and his company. It's on Disney Plus. I have no affiliation. I'm just letting you know where this is coming from. The entire time on the show, you're watching this incredibly creative, out of the box, imaginative collective of people that he brings together for this company. Now, on their own, each of these people, they're outcasts, they're outliers in their families, not in a bad way. They're just different. They're very different. Each of them maybe they spent hours and hours of time, alone model making or trying to do movies on their own in the 50s and 60s with, limited resources, trying to discover stop motion, etc. And so what happens for us, how this relates to us, is that many of us have very important gifts and talents and abilities and ideas and visions and goals. And we feel like we're weird. We feel like we should change or be smaller or be quiet or not do that. Maybe not outwardly, but we definitely feel it in our heart because guess what? No one around us is like us, right? And guess what? You're just in the wrong circle. You're just in the wrong circle. And that is great news. Woohoo! Okay? Because there's a circle out there. There's a tribe out there. There are friends out there for you. So who is a good tribe member? A good tribe member, a good friend for you right now is a friend that can relate to you right now. a friend that can build with you right now, that can hear you out right now, meaning from this place you are in your life, from this person you are in your life, right? So we got to be discerning about that, because just like we don't want to eat whatever food is out there, right? Because there'll be food at a gas station, right? Or there's food at a Whole Foods, or there's food at a Ralph's or a Meijer, right? So it's food, but okay. So we want to think the same way. A good tribe member, a good friend is going to be someone that, or some ones that can see you, hear you, support you, encourage you, recognize you for who you are today. Let's talk more about it. Join me in the chat. We move in now to the next section, right? So what might be getting in the way? So I had someone share in the live chat that I have friends and I give to them and I give to them, but then when I'm in need, where is everybody, right? And I think so many of us can relate to that. And so I want you to know, if that is your situation, there is nothing wrong with you. You're a wonderful person and you are amazing, and what you're doing is right. So please don't change you. Don't change the fact that you help people. Don't change the fact that you're loving and intuitive and you're giving. Simply change your tribe. Woohoo! Okay, that's an adjustment, right? Because that might be definitely getting in the way. Sometimes what happens is we are engaging with an old tribe, right? And so then they're used to you giving and you doing and you calling and you showing up and you, and then you don't get anything when you're in need. And so that's not a question or a time to change the good things you have. It's just a question of making an adjustment in your circle, because that's definitely getting in the way of you having a greater experience of friendship and connection and support. And so that's where the tweak needs to be made. Now, what else might be getting in the way? I'll share a little bit of what I've experienced with my own situation. So I know for me, things that have gotten in the way are the following. So one of the biggest things that have gotten in the way for me has been that I have compartmentalized people. And I don't know, let me know in the chat if you have done the same. So for me, you know, I have got a lot of things that I'm working on and I'm doing, and I've got my marriage, and you got all these things that are going on, right? And so then you end up compartmentalizing people. Oh, that's my church friend. Oh, that's my work friend. That's my friend that likes coffee and we go to coffee. Well, here's the problem with that. All of us as human beings have all those qualities. Not exactly the same, but we are more than one dimensional. So when we compartmentalize, then we are closing off the opportunity for more. What I find is that the people that seem to have a lot of quality connections, they are a connector themselves. They are the type of person that looks beyond the initial label of the friendship. And they're able to say, oh, hey, you know, here's my friend from church, but they're really cool and they're into this also. And why don't you, hey, come on over. I want you to meet them and we're all gonna, you see, and it builds, right? So what might be getting in the way for you? It could be a number of things. You know, are you isolating yourself? I know I went through that with the pandemic and just kind of everybody was isolating. Then what ended up happening is then you kind of get a little too happy with your own way, right? You're like, you know, it's just when I'm by myself, you know, I do whatever I want when I want. I don't have to wait for anybody or rush for anybody. I don't have to, it's not complicated, right? But it also can be lonely. So we all fall into these traps depending where we're at in our lives and what happens. And again, it's not to beat ourselves up. It's just to be able to say, what might be getting in the way of my friendships? What's getting in the way, right? Do I need an upgrade and I'm not doing it? Do I need to be more open and be more outgoing? Do I need to maybe connect more people and not just look at my friends in one way, invite them to different things, introduce my friends to one another? These are all ways we can look at what might be getting in the way for us and take care of it. Because ultimately, when we have that tribe, it's just so rewarding. It's so wonderful to be able to have this shorthand. You know what I mean? To be able to, you understand each other, how you talk, how you move, what's important. It's a really beautiful thing. Today, we're talking about finding your tribe, about having friends as adults. Hit me up in the chat. This is going to be a short one, but let's talk about it. What is getting in the way? What could be getting in the way for you when it comes to making friends and having friendships as an adult? Yes, we're talking about it, and the chat has been super, super live with wonderful, wonderful points. And so I appreciate those of you that are interacting in the chat. Thank you so very much, because it really expands our whole experience and allows for you to also get things out, and let's process, let's feel good and be empowered. That's what Allswell is all about. So thank you so much for that. We've talked a little bit about why we would want to find our tribe or have active friendships as an adult. We've talked about who is a good tribe member, who is a good friend. How can we figure that out and really realize it? We've asked ourselves what might be getting in the way. Okay, what might be getting in the way? Is it me? Can I make some adjustments? Or is it a little bit of tweaking in the outer world that I can do that can really bring this home for me? And then now we get into how can you find your tribe as an adult? How can you make friends as an adult? This is a big question. I'll tell you, it really is, because I wonder, and you can let me know how you feel. Join the chat and let me know. Do you feel it is hard to make friends as an adult? And if so, why? Some of the things that I have seen is that I've seen that adults seem to get very wrapped up in their particular pattern of doing things, right? Sometimes it's important because there are all these outer circumstances and obligations. But a lot of times it seems really, really mental. It seems like a block to actually experience more. Meaning there's a lot of talk about busyness, but when we look deeper at a schedule, is it busy? Because it seems like it gets filled with a lot of just different choices. And that's cool. But if we're honest about it, it's a little bit more powerful, right? Because if we're like, I'm busy, I can't. Well, that's a low vibration feeling, right? Versus, you know what? To be quite honest, I would rather collect stamps or whatever, I'd rather watch the latest Netflix series, It's just more powerful because now it's like, hey, I have a choice. I have control over my life, and I just really right now it's kind of like dating, right? Sometimes when people are dating, they're like, right now I'm just really not able to get into a relationship. So with friendships, that could be really cool too. If we're just honest about it, we're like, you know what, right now, I don't know. I'm wrapped up. I take my kid to 10 things a day. It's like, okay, right? So how can you find your tribe? So some of the cool things that I love to engage in, right, is first off, where would your tribe be? Where would your tribe be, right? So what do I mean by this? There are things you love to do, okay? So you can start there. Passions you have. And now, thank goodness for the internet, because this is a positive way we can use the internet. You can look up groups and meetups and events for those particular things. So, are you a car buff, right? So you could go and look at car shows and parking, and you're like, okay, cool. Now I meet other car buffs and I can get into action and activity. Do you love to crochet? Do you love comedy? Whatever it is, you can find someone out there. And it's a really cool way to start, because then at least you're starting with a already easy potential, right? It's an easy potential to have a real friendship blossom there. So we can begin to find our tribe by seeking out events, groups, places where people with our particular interests will be, right? So like, I love personal development. I love fitness activities. I love things that are about health and nutrition and fitness and expanding in some way, business, spiritual. So I love to look for those types of events and go there and talk to people. So that's the next piece. You want to be able to open up and talk to people. And something that I've been really, really enjoying so much is just be like a kid about it. Be like a kid about it in your own way. But you know how kids are just open and free, and they'll just ask. They'll just ask, like, what is that? Can I? So when I go into situations like that, it's really beneficial. And so I offer that to you as a way you can find your tribe. Seek events and groups and situations that already have people that have interests that you have, and be willing to have fun and be open. Let the magic unfold, and you will be so pleased at what you find. Yes. Yes. Look, finding our tribe can feel overwhelming sometimes. It's true. As adults, maybe we're stuck in our way or we're stuck in our schedule and we just don't know what's happening. The friends we used to have, it's just not clicking like it used to. And we maybe can't count on them, or they're not as responsive as we'd like. I want to encourage you. There is nothing wrong with you. Our friends, like the seasons in our lives, should change. Some of us are blessed with lifelong friends, with Ashley, who joined in the chat. And some of us maybe need an upgrade, like Tashala, like I have found many times. If you're not sure what your interests are and you're not sure where to start, a good question to ask yourself is, what do I love? What makes me incredibly happy? And even if it seems like it's something totally silly, start there. Having friends is healthy. It is important. It's not only a way to expand the experience of our lives in the moment, but it's also something that can help us for seasons to come. And there's no wrong way here. But I do find that it is super fun when we come at it as little children with open hearts and just a fun attitude, willing to ask and convey straight out, hey, I like you. Hey, I think what you're doing is cool. What is that? Can I come? Would you like to meet? All right. So definitely you can connect with me anytime at tmarie.com. And if you do so, sign up to my email list, because you will get free resources immediately and you will have a continued connection. I only email once a week max. And I include lots of stuff like this. So if you like feeling good, being empowered, personal development, upgrading your life, things like that, tmarie.com, sign up to my email list. Have a fantastic week. I cannot wait to see you then. Bye-bye, friends.